when you have a website and you finally want to start selling through these things, and you put up WooCommerce and it looks fugly. You have a pretty theme, everything looks great, you have a cool header and footer, and yet the checkout page and the thank you page are still ugly. WooCommerce by default are kind of boring and ugly, and unless your theme really plays around with those things, you'll honestly, even in that, you'll get a boring, really just a boring regular e-commerce checkout page. So when you want to style your checkout page to be a proper checkout funnel and a good user experience that you can customize, check out Cartflows for WordPress and WooCommerce. And in today's Morning for Visionaries, I'm going to give you a quick overview of what it is and how it works. So Cartflows is really, and if we look at the screen, we'll see what it is. If you go to cartflows.com, it is essentially a funnel creation tool that works inside or with WooCommerce to help you build out these funnel pages. It can do the actual landing pages. I personally don't use them for that. I use something else, but I use them for checkout pages, thank you pages, upsells, downsells, and everything in between, which is really freaking cool. And it's got a lot of cool features. So check out their website to see what it does. Now, it is not perfect, but as a business owner, the big parts for you are going to really be what you can do with it. And as a business owner, you can create styled service checkout pages, styled product checkout flows for booking an appointment with you. You can do all these things and more thanks to Cartflows, because it gives you a front-end interface, sort of, for editing WooCommerce flows, funnels, whatever you want to call it. Now, there are some differences between free Cartflows and Pro Cartflows. First and foremost, let's answer the question, do you absolutely need Cartflows Pro and pay for it? No, you do not. The free version gives you a lot of good features, which for most of us will be far more than good enough. But if you look at their website, they do have free and Pro. The big parts are the number of templates you have. Upsells are available. Upsells and downsells are available in Pro, not in free. You also get order bumps, customizable checkout thingies, a two-step checkout, which is one of my favorites, cart abandonment. Though I really don't know if it's free or not, because they do have a free plugin for this thing. A/B testing, custom fields, and field reordering, and mucking about with that, which is very important for some of us. I use that a little bit, and those are the real big things. Countdown timers, not that big of a deal, because I can use other tools for that, which we'll get into. But there are differences in free and pro. For most of us, this will be good enough. But if you really need upsell pages, if you really need customizations on the styles of the checkout form itself and things in between, do get pro. It is a very fairly priced software. Now, here's an example of what it looks like on the front end. Now, this is a WooCommerce Cartflows checkout page, fully customized to this specific campaign that we were running. It's a two-step checkout. It's got some content on the side. I added a video, and this checkout is only accessible through this link. So it is fully styled to this campaign, to this target audience that we had for this offer that we were running, and has the specific products that we added included only in this specific flow, so somebody can pick and choose whichever option they would want. Now, we've also customized our generic regular checkout. This is kind of something what you're used to seeing, right? But we customized it easily, and eventually we're going to get rid of the standard header, and we are going to keep the standard footer, but this is pretty standard. But we made this the default for all other checkout flows, with the exception of anybody going to a specific flow. So that's kind of handy. Now the question is, what does all of this look like in the back end? Well, if you go and edit a checkout flow, so I've already opened this up for us here, and you see I'm editing this in Elementor. So I personally don't recommend, well, you could use their templates. I personally don't, only because I like more customization options. There are some really neat templates in there. Do you have to use them? No, I personally don't, only because I like customizing things my way. That's just me. So the content all here, for everything, well, not this one, in this one is all styled in Elementor, and I just added their shortcodes to get this thing here. And you can get the shortcode by clicking on the shortcode tab in the backend and finding here. But the fun part is you can add the products you want. add some variation options. You can, if you have variations, on order bump only comes in Pro. Checkout offer, so a different two-step checkout options. You can edit some checkout design options. I personally prefer to do this with Elementor and custom CSS. Again, that's just me. You can edit the checkout fields. In this one, I didn't need to, but we can in here, thanks to Pro. Some checkout options, and we can add our own custom scripts if you have custom tracking you want specifically on this page. So there are some really cool things. It adds this piece right here. That's what you get from Elementor, from Cartflows. And that's what it is really. It allows you to create all these flows. And so you can have as many steps up. You can have one checkout page per flow, but as many upsells, downsells, and thank you pages and landing pages as you'd like, which becomes pretty handy when you want to style things for a specific campaign. Now, there are a few caveats for Cartflows. The most important one, and we found out the hard way, is you could, like I said 5 seconds ago, you can only have one checkout page per flow. So if, for example, you are selling a 1-hour session and a 2-hour session, but they're slightly different, you'll need 2 flows for that, because you can't have for example, a checkout page where somebody can select one or the other, then a flow or checkout page for just one, and then just the other, technically 3 checkout pages. You'd probably want separate flows for that, simply because, like I said, only one checkout page per flow. Kind of a bummer. The other piece is that, and this one's kind of a bummer. I've been asking them to get this functionality in here for a little while now. But if somebody, let's say I were selling a specific product, let's say just this one, and somebody were to go to the WooCommerce product page specifically, and they found it somehow directly via a sitemap, or somebody was linked to the WooCommerce product directly, they would not go to this flow automatically. They can only access this flow, never automatically. They have to go to this link directly. So you have to link them through the emails, your marketing and everything directly through here to this link, whatever your link might be. The only way around this that I found is that we both hide pages from the WooCommerce shop pages, make them hidden products, as well as adding redirect links using other third-party tools such as plugins or routes in order to reroute people from these specific products to here specifically. That's kind of the only, which is just kind of a bummer. And the biggest pain in the butt, though, for Cartflows is due to caching. It's not due to Cartflows in and of itself. It's because how caching works. Any specific flow, both the checkout page and the upsells or downsells, you will have to exclude them specifically and individually from the cache, both on the plugins and on the server side. So, for example, if you host on WP Engine or Flywheel, you will have to ask your hosting provider to whitelist this on the server side cache, because if you don't, this part in WooCommerce, this will just give you the spinny beach ball of death and never load. So you will have to exclude them from caches. It is kind of a pain in the butt, because if you're logged in, by the way, it will work. But if you're logged out, then you see the spinning beach ball of death. So that's kind of not cool. The other part is these things only have so much customizability that you can have without going into full CSS. So if you want to fully tweak all these things up, let's say not give this a border, but only underline, etc., you will have to go with custom CSS if you do want to fully customize these things. This one, for example, I really didn't do too much, and I probably should. But for, other than custom fonts, if I really want things, custom CSS, different borders, CSS, hover effects, CSS, etc. They give you some options, but not as many as I would like. And the other pieces, it's not a negative per se, but as I was mentioning, I don't like using their templates only because I like full customizability. Again, that's just me. I love Elementor, so I do prefer working with that far better than with their templates. Like I said, you can, but I do highly recommend using Beaver Builder, Elementor, or whatever others they support instead of their built-in tools. That's just me. So that's the quick overview of Cartflows. I do highly recommend you get it, especially free. It allows you to create some really cool things. And if you use Elementor free and Cartflows free, you seriously already have you can create a checkout experience far better than the standard WooCommerce plugin and any theme can give you. So check out Cartflows. It's really cool. And that's it for today's Morning for Visionaries. See you next time.